My name is Johnny Crates. I've been collecting for about, I think I'm going on almost 5 years now. Well, I started collecting in like 2015. That's when my girlfriend got me my record player that I have today. I didn't really know much about the online world. I want to say for the first about 2 years, mid 2017 is when I kind of got into the collecting. First 2 years was just fun stuff. It was just, those records you were listening to in the like 90s, 2000s, just that fun stuff that you wanted the physicals of. So those first couple of years of me collecting was just the Led Zeppelins, the stuff like that, the bargain bins, the $10, $20 ones. And then the past 3 years have been the heavy duty collecting, the money makers, the ones where you're spending what you're making every 2 weeks.
This is crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say I've been collecting a little over 30 years. My pops put me on. I was a kid, fell in love with the records, got my own bread up, started buying my own records, and never stopped.
I would just go on my lunch breaks because I work in downtown Boston, and I would just go to the Newbury Comics. There's a bunch of Newbury Comics in Boston, so I would just head down there on my lunch break. It was like a 10-minute walk, so I would just kind of crate dig usually I try and go at least every Friday because that's when they got their new stuff in. And I was talking to the manager there, and I was gonna buy a record. He was like, "Oh, dude, it's like $15 cheaper on Discogs." And I was like, "What's Discogs?" And then that kind of opened my world, which is pretty much like the eBay of record collecting right there. And so I got onto Discogs, and then from there, I was just looking at like the crazy lists every month that would come off, like most expensive. And then I kind of just started looking up some of these record labels, and this Daupe record label just kind of kept popping up, and it just seemed like it was all the craze. So I started looking at some stuff. I started listening to some artists that the purist, who is the kind of the curator, the head of Daupe, was putting out.
How I first heard about Daupe, the dude I know, he's a big time record collector, you know what I'm saying, big time underground cat. He listened to a lot of that shit, put me on. I heard about West Side through him. She pointed in the direction where it was at. I looked at it, I said, okay, and the rest is history.
So what is Daupe? Daupe is just the record craze. It's the supreme of record collecting. It's the be-all, end-all. It's the zenith, the apex of rare records. I mean, they put out anything underground hip-hop, and nowadays it's selling out in literal seconds. You have to have the correct internet. You got to be there at the drop. You can't miss, you can't click the wrong button, and God forbid if you're typing in your credit card info, because you're done. I mean, you need to have that one-click PayPal, and it's a craze now. I think they could be putting out, hot garbage, and people are just gonna buy it just because it's got that Daupe sticker on the back. I mean, it's the same thing with Supreme. They can put out a white t-shirt and sell it for $100, and people are gonna be fighting tooth and nail. I mean, every drop is a Black Friday. It's a craze. It's a fun craze. It's a free high trying to get a record. And I worked in a courtroom at the time. Like I didn't move out of the courtroom until like 2018, so I could never get on these things. Like I'd get back to my office at like 3 p.m. So I was like, yeah, it's just long sold out. So I first heard about it from Instagram, from all these people going like, oh, Daupe. Here and there, I didn't really get many after that. Like I didn't catch the Daupe bug. Like it didn't really get me. And also too, like I'd just be working, so like I missed out on something. Like I would have to kind of go to someone else or like just pick it up on the resale. But even on the resale market, like back then, like you even know it was pennies compared to what it is today. Went on that train. I just trying to get some, and when they say if you fail or whatever it is, if first you don't succeed, try again. And I just kept trying, and I just kept failing. And then I finally, my job allowed me not to be into a courtroom setting, so I was allowed to kind of have my phone on me, and no one was really watching my computer right at like that, I think it's 11 a.m. drops. And from there, man, it was just it was a free high. Like, you were waiting for that Monday, like you were waiting for that last week to see what they were putting out. And then for that week after, it was just like, reminded me of like high school football. Like, you just hyping yourself up for that whole week. Like, I'm getting this, like, this is it. That first Daupe record, I think is big for you too. I think you'll always remember kind of what that first one was, because it's just like, it's kind of like I don't know if it's like a trophy per se, but it means just, hey, you know, you beat a bunch of people that tried to get a record.
Buying a limited edition record online is crazy right now, man. I mean, it's one in a million, hit or miss. A lot of cats is on there that actually love the music, and a lot of cats is on there trying to do resale. I ain't mad at either one. I'm trying to get mine. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at nobody getting money. Get you some.
The process of buying one, you got to be a little bit tech savvy nowadays. You got to be smart with it. You got to have the one-touch PayPal or the Shopify set up, or Apple Pay set up. You got to have that at the ready. You got to make sure that, you know, there's no distractions, you know, 10 minutes before these records drop to almost 10 minutes after these records drop, because you got to make sure you're on it right before it drops. You got to have that clock next to you, so you got to make sure once when it turns 10, 11, you know, 12 p.m., whatever it is, you got to click that button, have that refresh rate be quick, and just get in and get out. And I mean, the whole time too, you got the, you know, to get the sweaty hands, you get the heart pumping. So yeah, nowadays, like the process of buying a limited edition record online is just like, it's crazy. It's nerve-wracking. It's like, you got so many more people trying to get these set amounts. You know, you got 10,000 people fighting over, you know, 2,000 copies, or, you know, 5,000 people fighting over 500 copies. So it's crazy now. It's a mad dash. It's a mad rush. And a lot of people are missing, a lot of people getting. It's fun if you hit, and it's crap if you miss. Has collecting brought any negativity in my life? For myself, I guess, no. Probably for my girlfriend a little bit. I think she'll see that I'll be like, nah, I don't want to spend something on this where we might need it. But then she'll just be like, you spent how much on that record? The negativity is probably how it affects the ones around you, more so than you. I mean, the negativity, I guess, yeah, it can affect you when you're buying stuff to buy stuff, and it's like, why? It's like, you know, you have this fear of missing out, or, you know, you want to have it, but it's like, why do you want it? And the other negativity thing is, yeah, it's the ones around you. I mean, you're spending all this money on these records. It's like, damn, like, should I be spending it on something different? You know, should I be putting this money towards a ring to the person I love, or like, should I be putting it towards like the bills I gotta pay, or the classes I'm taking? So yeah, definitely shit. Now I feel bad.
Man, enough's enough. I'm gonna say enough's enough when you don't got no bread. If you can't afford it, or, you know what I'm saying, it's messing up your friendships, your relationships, or whatever. Because a lot of cats be on hold, man. Hey, I can't come out. I gotta drop. I can't come out right now. Give me about an hour. I mean, just it sounds corny to some, but to others, if you know, you know. I'm just keep it at that. You know what I mean?
I'm going through law school right now, so my financial focus should probably not be on a record drop every day or every Friday. I think enough is enough comes to the point where you secured what you wanted to secure. Like, you got what you wanted, you got in, you got what you needed, and you're out. I think for me, at least, that's it. And I'm almost at that point where enough is enough. You know, I've become a lot more picky. I've gotten the grails that I wanted to get, but I mean, there's some things where you just know, like, you're not going to get it. And, you know, and I'm not at that position nor that place in my life where I can get some of that stuff. So enough is when you don't get any more money in there.